I can do what I want when I want to do it. I can do what I need when I need to get through it. When I need someone else, can't be too proud for help, but gotta look after myself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what the day is, but it's exactly what you make it. So please don't go wasting, and I'll do the same, even if it's raining. How could I complain? And my feels got me feeling some type of way. You always free to take a break. Hope you feel what I felt. You gotta look after yourself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. What a good day is.
All right, it is that time. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We're about to get into it. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. I see y'all. Let's go. Hopefully everybody's doing well on this Thursday. The week is almost over. I can't believe it. Let me see how we're looking though. We should be looking pretty good. Let me double check here and see. Oh yeah, there we go. Looking all crispy and clean on the screen. Oh, I don't know what's going on with that though. Let me fix this. There we go. Welcome y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the Music Morning Show. I'm your host ClassE Beats of ClassEbeats.com. Today we're gonna get back into it. We've got some news and updates on Young Thug, what's going on with his probation. Got a little bit of an update from Judge Whitaker. We're gonna get into that shortly. Also, Jayz, this whole Jayz situation is really weird. I don't know if y'all have been following it and digging into some of the details, but I'm surprised that everything is happening and going the way it's going. We're gonna talk about some of the other celebrities and people in high places who are coming out and actually defending Jayz. It's gonna be interesting. But before I get into it, let me see what's up with the people in the building, man. Shout out to everyone who's in here. We've got my awesome, amazing Amy is in the building. Shout out to Amy, always in here showing love and support. I appreciate you as always. We've got Les Cleaver dropping the 5 bomb. He said, God bless all of you. Have a wonderful day. I'll pop in on the work break. All right, good to see you in here, Les. Jamie, good morning. Krisha, FC, oh, I'm sorry. It's just Casola. Hopefully I said that right. Fatima's in here. We've got Maricela, Joyce Walker. Good to see you. Michi, A Fitz, Lavisa. Mosh is in here, my guy. Good to see you. Shout out to Mosh. We've got Deborah Lewis, Valencia. Donna Hallman is in here. Good morning, Donna. Michelle, Azor, Mama D, Krista, Nicholas is back at it. Susan, Gwen, Fun Size. That's a dope username. Good to see you. The Honorable Attorney Kel Bell is back in the building too. Good to see you, Kel Bell. And we've got, who else? I already said what's up to Susan. My dog Rice Street is in here. Says it's wild. I had to type in ClassE Beats and scroll halfway down to find this stream. Oh no. Is YouTube doing us dirty? Come on, YouTube, just show us some love, man. PD Broker is in the building too. Good morning, Alabama. Gigi up in here. Leona, good to see you. Thank y'all for stopping by, and I appreciate y'all being here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And this is actually gonna be one of the shorter shows, but I am going to open up the phone lines once we get through our topics today. So if y'all have any thoughts you want to share on anything that we've covered, whether it's the CEO shooting, the CEO of United Healthcare shooting, whether it's Jayz, YSL trial, Young Thug, whatever, you guys are going to be able to call in and share your thoughts on that. But let's go ahead and get into our first topic. And again, make sure you guys like the video. It's the #1 way you can support the show. It's free, and it does let the YouTube algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show, and it shares the video with more people. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me see what we got here. Make sure I've got everything set up, and I will open up the phone lines here a little bit later for y'all. So recently, in the past 24 hours, Judge Whitaker just made a ruling on the motion to amend the sentence or the probation for Young Thug, technically because Young Thug wants to be able to use his home, which is right outside of Atlanta or right inside the Atlanta metro area. And as we know, because of his probation, he is not allowed to be in the Atlanta area. So they asked Judge Whitaker, hey, Judge Whitaker, we're trying to move things around. Young Thug needs to be closer to his family, needs to access the home. Is there something you could do? So I wanted to go back and look at their motion to amend the sentence. It's going to take 2 seconds, and then we'll get to Judge Whitaker's decision. What does he say here? Comes now, Jeffrey Williams, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion to amend the sentence. In support of this motion to amend the sentence, Mr. Williams shows as follows. On or about October 31st, 2024, Mr. Williams tendered a non-negotiated or nolo guilty plea, and this honorable court sentenced Mr. Williams to probation with special conditions of the same, which include, but not limited to, banishment from the metro Atlanta area for the first 10 years of probation. All right. On or about November 8th, this honorable court entered an amended sentence sheet to further define metro Atlanta as defined by the United States Census Bureau. Mr. Williams files under seal contemporaneously, we got it that time, with the filing to this motion, the city for which one of his homes is located, which is a few miles to the most extreme border of the definition of metro Atlanta as memorialized in the amended sentencing sheet. All right, we go further. Mr. Williams has family in the metro Atlanta area, specifically in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and respectfully requests the ability to reside/visit at times in his home located in the city in the attached under seal document so that he can have family gatherings for holidays and other lawful reasons with family, friends, and business associates, which is a home already owned by Mr. Williams. Obviously, they don't want the address leaked, so that's why they put it under seal there. On Thursday, December 5th, Fulton County Chief Probation Officer, Derema Whitrack, hopefully I said that right, advised via email that she has no objection to modifying Mr. Williams' sentence as proposed above. Moreover, on Thursday, December 5th, undersigned counsel, specifically Brian Steele, the GOAT, spoke with the Honorable Chief Probation Officer, Kari Mock, who explained that she is required by Florida law to reveal Mr. Williams' residence on a public website unless the Honorable Court enters an order restricting the same. Basically, they're saying we don't want people to know what the address is in Florida, especially after, boy, I couldn't believe this. Mr. Adams was on FaceTime with Young Thug when the Fit Lawyer ATL was interviewing him, and Young Thug was like, yeah, I'm in Miami. I said, man, what are you doing? Why are you giving away your location? Either way, they're trying not to have this location leaked. Wherefore, Mr. Williams respectfully requests a hearing on this motion, and at the conclusion of the same, ask the Honorable Court to grant the above requested relief on the 5th day of December. That was last week. Respectfully, Brian Steele. Okay. Shout out to the GOAT, Brian Steele. Now, shout out to Young Thug. We are going to go back to, let me see. Is this the right? Yeah, this is the right one. Here we go. Shout out to Thugger Daily for this one. Says Young Thug's probation modification partially granted. Now, this isn't exactly what Young Thug wanted, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel here. What does it say? What does Judge Whitaker decide? Order modifying special conditions of probation. Based upon the consent/no objection of the probation officers in the state of Georgia, as well as the state of Florida, to modifying Mr. Williams' sentence, is in the above referenced case, it is hereby ordered that if there are no violations of probation within the first 3 years, to wit, on or before October 31st, 2027. Oh, man. Mr. Williams can thereafter visit his home at the address located in the city that he has provided under seal and the specific address given to probation for up to 2 weeks at a time, up to 4 times per year consecutive. Okay, let's read that again. So he can visit the house for up to 2 weeks at a time, up to 4 times per year. So that's 8 weeks in the year. And not only that, he has to wait 3 years to do this. So he has to wait until October 31st of 2027. So Halloween, I don't know. Why that date. But anyway, Mr. Williams must notify probation officer probation at least 5 days prior to coming to this address for good cause shown and safety/privacy concerns based upon Mr. Williams' status as a known public figure. Mr. Williams' residence shall not be revealed by probation on any public website or the public at all unless otherwise permitted by this honorable court during the terms of supervision on probation, and the other conditions of probation remain in effect. Ordered the 11th day of December 2024, signed by the Honorable Judge Whitaker. So what do y'all think about that? You think this is a win for Young Thug? I kind of get why Judge Whitaker is doing this. Obviously, Young Thug, he has some personal issues he needs to work through, and he really needs to show that not only he's a changed man, but that he can abide by this probation. Now, there were other things that Judge Whitaker mentioned when she handed down this ruling, or the sentences, you could say, for his special conditions when that comes to who he can have contact with and other things like that. But he really is going to have to spend these next 3 years making sure he's locked in, making sure he's not getting into trouble, and really following his probation to the letter. Because not only is he not going to be able to visit his home like he asked if he violates part of his probation, but there's so many other things that could happen as a result of this. So I think the way she put it, it's a really good incentive for Young Thug to just keep on the straight and narrow. I think it's going to be somewhat of an inconvenience for him and his family, because I know not only does he have family inside Atlanta, but he does have kids that are in this area as well. So they may have to move out, change schools, figure something out. I don't know. We'll have to see if he abides by this order. Hopefully that's the case and he doesn't get into any more trouble. Y'all let me know what you think in the chat. And shout out to everybody that's in here too. We got over 1,000 of y'all up in here. Thank you to everybody who liked the video. Yeah, I see a couple of you saying having to wait 3 years is wild. I think it sucks, but it's not wild. I think it's just something it's something for him to look forward to. And it's somewhat of a good compromise, because Judge Whitaker could have just straight up said, nope, already gave my ruling. It is what it is. You got to deal with it. Sean P is in the building. Shout out to my guy up in here. CEB gang for life. And thank y'all for liking the video. Amy in Texas says, good morning. Good to see you. Shout out to Jork. Says, good afternoon from Denmark. Shout out to all of our folks over in the UK. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you to everyone who's being here. JB Brown's up in the building. Shout out to Sean P. He says, morning, ladies. YSL Page and the jury have decided that emojis and butterfly tats are not gang related. Thank God. Boy, a lot of y'all would be in trouble. Is this supposed to say probation or probation? Did I misread it? I misread things a lot. Somebody commented and said, your mispronunciations are irritating. I was like, yeah, they are. I'm trying to work on it though. Mama D says, that is so sad. I would not want to be away from my family that long. He can just move them. And I say that he has the resources, I should say, to move them, from what we understand. And it seems like what I could imagine is they'll finish this school year out. So, the next 3, 4, 5 months, kids will finish this school year out and they'll probably move schools. I don't know for how long, but that seems to be what would make sense. Sarah McKinley says, can he live in Cobb, Cherokee, Forsyth, and Bartow County? I believe so. I pulled up a map of Metro Atlanta. Let me see. I'm going to tell you right now. Metro Atlanta. So Metro Atlanta. Nope. So no Cherokee. It includes the cities in Atlanta and 28 counties. And I think we went over this when everything went down. We have Cherokee, Clayton, Cobb, DeKalb, Douglas, Fayette, Forsyth. So pretty much everything that you mentioned, Sarah. Fulton, Gwinnett, Rockdale, and then, of course, the city of Atlanta. Yeah, so it looks like all of those are out except for Bartow. And I don't even know where Bartow County is. Yeah, so it looks like when it comes to Metro Atlanta, it's no good. Gwinnett, Cobb, Clayton. And then we've got, I'm just wanting to double check and make sure. Yeah, it looks like that's all of it. Includes 28. I want to see what the 28 counties are. I'm gonna see if I can find the map, but that's a very good question. We've got, I think Bartow's in there too. Yeah, I think Bartow's in there too. Let me see. I can't see. Yep, Bartow's in there too. Dang, he can't go anywhere. I'm trying to, I have a picture here, but it's not really a good picture. Henry's in there. I don't think I said Henry earlier. Yeah, so he's, here we go. So Pickens, Dawson, Cherokee, Forsyth, Bartow, Paulding, Carlson, Cobb, Gwinnett, DeKalb, we already mentioned that. Walton County, Rockdale, Newton, Morgan, Jasper, Butts, Clayton, Fayette, Spalding, Pike, Lamar, Meriwether, Coweta, Carroll, and Hurd. So yeah, great question, but it's gonna be tough. He's got to stay outside of Atlanta for real. Yep, and Mama D's mentioned them. I really hope he gets his watches, cars, and jewelry back. I don't know how state can think they could keep all of that. No, they can't, and they should have to give it back to him. And Mama D's listing all of the counties there. Lady E is in the building too. Good morning, good to see you. April O'Neill's baby daddy says, what people need to understand is that he was going to be away from his family had she hit him with some prison time. It was worth a try, but F that house if it's about your freedom. Yeah, just move them for a few years and do what you have to do. Funside says, if I was Thug, there would be no way I would live in Georgia again. California, Florida, that's it. Kel Bell says, Classic Beast, I'm horrible at reading things correctly too, especially names. Hey, I appreciate that, Kel Bell. It's so bad, man. It's so bad, but hey, if the Honorable Kel Bell says she has trouble sometimes too, then I'm doing all right. So thank you, Kel Bell, for that confidence booster there. Rena Bolden's in the building, says, I think this is fair. He has to purge himself of all the bad habits and people. Yep. I think she is trying to help him stay out of trouble. I think she truly wants what's best for him. Yeah, and I think, again, her giving him a chance to prove himself, to get into the habit of that, could be another way Judge Whitaker is saving Young Thug in a sense, because he said it during his sentencing. It's like, Judge, you changed my life. You saved me. Thank you for everything. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for taking over this trial. Because y'all know if Glanville was up there, yeesh, that would have been bad. Antoinette Smith is in the building. J Bone says, I wouldn't care where I was for 3 years as long as I had internet. money and Uber Eats. Shout out to Uber Eats. I've been going crazy with Uber Eats and Uber in general lately. It's wild out here. All right, let's go ahead and get into our next topic. This one is going to be interesting, and I need to update our headline. So we got, oh man, I'll fix that in a second. We've got, how do I want to say this? I am absolutely surprised and shocked that someone who is this close to Sean Diddy Combs is getting as much support from not only other celebrities, but from people in the general public when it comes to this recent accusations against Jay-Z. A lot of people are coming out and saying, I don't think Jay-Z did it. I think he's innocent until proven guilty. And a lot of this is something we don't see often, especially when it comes to these type of allegations. And most especially if they're close to someone who's already been somewhat found guilty of the same allegations in a separate case. So we're going to look and see what Stephen A. Smith says and his justification why he thinks Jay-Z is innocent. Y'all know on this channel, no matter what the situation is, I believe you're innocent until proven guilty. So let's see Stephen A. Smith's take on this. Shocking.
A couple of things. I don't know Sean Diddy Combs. I've met him on a few occasions. I've spoken to him on a few occasions. I don't know whatever truth or falsehood is associated with his name. I haven't cast any guilt or innocence upon Sean Diddy. I simply reported it. Had Ryan Smith, legal analyst, on 1 minute, Eli Honig, CNN analyst, on another, Ellie Honig, a CNN analyst, on at another occasion, dissecting and analyzing the case against Sean Diddy. The reason why I broached that was because his homes were raided in both Los Angeles and Miami by Homeland Security. News had been percolating, and it was clearly evident that an indictment would be forthcoming, and that clearly they were going to go after Sean Diddy Combs. That is the United States government. Mr. Busby
y'all
is
rock
not
with
that.
y'all rock with Stephen A. Smith.
I am not going to sit here and dismiss or excoriate Mr. Busby or his client, who's anonymous at this particular moment in time, and the allegations that she has leveled against Jay-Z. Here's what I will say. I'm broaching this story right now because we're talking about a friend of mine who is Jay-Z, somebody that I've known now for 25 years. And I'm going to state for the record, not calling anybody any names, not challenging Mr. Busby or the accuser, whomever. I'm telling you, I've known this man for 25 years. And I'm saying, for me, Stephen A. Smith, there is no way in hell I believe this.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yo. Hey, listen, if someone brings false accusations against me, I hope I have somebody like this on my side. Dang, where were all these people for Diddy, man? Diddy got left out in the cold. It's wild, man, because it makes you wonder, man, how many people have seen things, how many people were involved in things when it comes to Diddy. Because Stephen A. Smith is standing 11 toes down and said, hey, that's my guy, 20 plus years. There is no way in hell, he said, that this happened. I'm shocked by this. And to me, this could go one or two ways. If it goes the other way, and it is found that Jay-Z in this situation was involved in this, then it could look really bad, or really bad for these people. On the other side, if it goes the other way, I mean, credit to them for standing behind their guy. Again, I think Jay-Z's innocent in this situation, obviously, until he's proven guilty. The story's not adding up either, so it doesn't make sense. But to see Stephen A. stand 10 tones down for his guy like this, it makes you wonder, man, maybe Jay-Z really didn't do it. Crazy.
I'm telling you, I've known this man for 25 years. And I'm saying, for me, Stephen A. Smith, there is no way in hell I believe this about him.
Wow.
The Jay-Z that I know is the Jay-Z that I've seen around teenagers, and he doesn't even want us playing the kind of music we kind of listen to in hip-hop. He made us turn it off. That dude who was in concert in 2004 performing alongside R. Kelly, who he grew to dislike a lot, particularly because of the allegations that were leveled against him, who found things like that despicable and abhorrent. Anybody that's been around Jay-Z and knows him has seen him come to the defense of the most helpless amongst us, which are the children. I can't believe for 1 second that he would ever be associated with an allegation like this. And I felt it was important to bring that up because you've got people out there. Stephen A., you had something to say about Diddy. Why aren't you going to have something to say about Jay-Z? Well, I don't know Diddy. I've met him a few times, talked to him a few times, absolutely. But I've known Jay-Z for 25 years. I don't believe it. Now, that's as far as I can go, because again, if you can't provide eyewitness evidence to refute the allegations that have been levied against anyone, it's irresponsible to go over the airwaves and go any further than that. It is not irresponsible to point out who a friend of mine is. Somebody that I've come to know and love and don't believe for 1 second would be capable of such a thing. That's not irresponsible. That's love right there, because of what you know about a person based on your personal interactions with them, along with the people that have been around them. I don't believe it. And I tell you what also made me comfortable enough to come on the camera and say this to all of y'all.
That's what I want to hear.
That quote that Jay-Z gave. Put it up there again, because I want the audience to see it again. I want to read the quote to you, okay? These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Bam! What he's saying is, let's go. Let's go to court. Who is she? I got children at home. Beyonce's my wife. You think I'm gonna let you talk about me like that when I got to explain to my children, your dad is not a rapist? You think that's a conversation that I want? You think I'm gonna let that slide? That's what Jay-Z is saying. I have not spoken to him since these allegations have come down. Again, I was in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi. Not that the phones don't work there. I just haven't spoken to him about it. But I'm telling you what my personal belief is. Rape? First of all, I wouldn't believe that. Secondly, a 13-year-old? No. And I understand that everybody in this day and age got to be careful about where you go and what. I got that. I understand it. We weren't eyewitnesses. We can't castigate the accuser. We can look at the lawyer as an ambulance chaser because he's pursuing a civil suit which involves money as opposed to a conviction that'll send you to jail.
True.
I get that. But I'll be damned if you could be friends with somebody for over 20 years with a platform like I have and various others have, and not at least acknowledge the person that you know and the person that you've been around and the person that you've spoken to, that you've come to love, you don't believe is capable of something like that. I don't think it's a crime.
Again, I actually haven't watched this whole thing, so I'm reacting with this to this with y'all for the first time. This is where you start to lose me, Stephen A, because Jay-Z has been friends with Diddy for over 20 years. And Jay-Z said nothing. Jay-Z did nothing. And there's a lot of physical, digital evidence around what Diddy was involved in and what Diddy did. And it ain't looking great. So, man, I don't know. Him making this statement about knowing somebody for 20 years and how they move. Stephen A, did you know that Jay-Z was around Diddy and what was going on with Diddy? Because it kind of questions your credibility if you're saying, oh, I was around Jay-Z. I know Jay-Z. He's my close friend. He was at a lot of these parties. He saw Diddy interacting with ClassE and several others. So, kind of lost me on this one, Stephen A.
It's not a crime to say that. Now, again, we'll find out more, and the story probably won't go away. But the number one reason I felt comfortable enough to come out and say what I said is because of that quote. Put it up there one last time. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that was the case. And then after that, the brother is pursuing her identity. Let's go. It happened more than 20 years ago, allegedly. You weren't an adult then. You're clearly an adult now. If it happened over 20 years ago, that would leave you in your 30s. I don't know. I'm saying to you, again, the allegation is about what happened to a child. But that child, once upon a time, allegedly has now come forward as an adult. I'm gonna go right or left, whatever way you wanna take it.
Y'all don't like Stephen A. yelling.
A little bit political here.
Oh no.
When you think about the election that has transpired,
here we go,
and some of the things that have transpired in our society, when we talked about woke culture, it wasn't just about transgender or other issues involving whether it's the LGBTQ community or whomever. It was also about America being a society that once upon a time presumed you innocent until proven guilty, and how that has now changed. Careers and livelihoods have been compromised over sheer accusations.
Yes, she can file criminal charges, yeah.
And so you're gonna have people who are salacious enough to point the finger at Jay-Z, and then you're gonna have others that will go in the opposite direction. But be clear, this ain't P. Diddy. Homeland Security didn't raid Jay-Z's home.
Ooh.
He wasn't charged with multiple felony accounts that can land him in jail for the rest of his natural life.
Yeah, Stephen A., but he was at the parties, though. He was one of, if not the closest person to Diddy. So we're not, if we want to go to the character of Jay-Z, I really don't want to have that conversation. And I mentioned this on yesterday's live stream, yesterday's video. I don't want to have a conversation about his character necessarily. I just want to look at the facts that surround this particular case, because when we start to go off and talk about, oh, well, you know, this is Jay-Z and he has kids and I've known him for 20 years. If you're going to factor that in, you have to factor in the fact that he has been close to Diddy for that same amount of time, if not more. And there's been some weird situations surrounding not only Diddy, but Jay-Z himself. So let's just not paint this beautiful picture about Jay-Z's character. I don't want to do that. We want to talk about the facts of this specific lawsuit, because if you go down that road, I don't think it's going to look good for Jay-Z.
He has been accused by a plaintiff who's hired a lawyer in pursuit of civil retribution 20 years after the fact. That's not P. Diddy. This is different. And all I'm going to say is, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. None of you were there or whatever. But if people can look at this and say, hey, I think he's guilty, then we also have the freedom for some of us to look at it and say, you got to prove that to me, because I can't imagine he would be guilty of such a thing.
saying I can't imagine it, I wouldn't say that. I can't imagine it. I don't think it's the case in this instance, but if you're in certain situations for over 2 decades, I don't think your hands are clean. But when it comes to this lawsuit, something's not adding up. And I think Stephen A, obviously, he's looking at it from a different light because he said it's his friend for over 2 decades. Y'all have to let me know what you think. This will be interesting to see what happens. What are y'all saying in the chat? Monterisa is in here. Shout out to Monterisa, says Diddler has children as well. Look at what he did to Justin, allegedly. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Shout out to Axel Wheel, says in New York, there's no limitations in New York for sexual abuse if, and let me add, not a caveat, but add an additional comment to that. If you are under 18, if you're over 18, I think the statute was 55, if I remember from our research we did yesterday in New York specifically. And it's different throughout the US, but in New York specifically, if you're 18 or older, you have until you were 18 or older when the assault happened. That was the Adult Survivors Act. Yeah, in New York, survivors of child SA can file civil suits until they turn 55. All right, so that's if you were under the age of 18. For criminal charges, there's no time limit. So the criminal charges, you don't have to worry about that. JB Brown says the Busbys are shiesty. Do not believe it. It's fake news. Yeah, we're going to get into something that Cat Not Williams sent me yesterday. I think y'all will find very interesting when it comes to Mr. Busby. They're putting in work. Amber Rain is in the building. Shout out to Amber Rain. My favorite is up in here. So she hates taking pictures. She makes it easy to capture her beautiful self. Oh, look at her. Look at Amber Rain. Showing her some love. Well, thank you for all the work you put in, Amber. I appreciate you. We've got Ob Style. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Says, again, that Molly will make you do some ish when people are around you and you wasn't with Jay-Z at those Diddy parties. That's right. Thank God. Latoya says, how is it something can someone from one state or another if it didn't happen in that state? How is it something can someone from another state to another if it didn't happen in that state? I'm not sure what you mean, but if she was assaulted in New York, the laws of New York would apply to her. And shout out to Amber Rain in here making it rain with the 50 bomb. She says, appreciate you, fam. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate you too. And thank you for the 50 bomb. Oh my gosh. Always showing love since day one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to my dog, Young Dresden here, says liked and shared. Minnie Perkins says Diddy and Jay-Z was longtime friends also. Why would you not stand behind your friend? Money buys secrets until you want to pay what they want. There's obviously something going on there when it comes to Jay-Z not speaking at all. At all. Has not spoken on the charges or the accusations against Diddy, which is crazy to me. But when this happens, this goes down. Jay-Z did not hold back at all. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes because Sean Carter and Sean Combs were pretty close. Latoya Dickerson says, how can they sue from state to state? I meant. So you're saying because Tony Busby is in Texas, how can he sue in New York? Is that what you're saying? Even if she did not live in New York? Correct. If it happened in New York, yes, the New York laws apply. Correct. Jay-Z wasn't a husband or father 20 years ago either. Not saying he did this, but his hands aren't clean though. Oh, absolutely. For sure. Birds of a feather flock together. My problem is where the parents that allowed 13-year-old to attend a grown-up party. Well, she snuck out of the house. Let's be real. And according to her story, if it's even true at all, which We don't know, but I don't believe. What she said was one of her friends, which is also weird. A friend dropped her off, which means either the friend was driving a car super underage, or her friend was 16 years old or older. What? Let's get that out of the way. So she says her friend dropped her off at the music awards. She was walking around the music awards, tried to get into the venue, couldn't get in. So she watched the music awards on the Jumbotron. Then after she watched for a little while, she started walking around to some of the limousines that were parked outside of the venue and wanted to get into an after party or tried to get somebody to help her get into the awards. Everyone's like, no, not doing anything. Then she finally found one guy who was like, oh yeah, I see you look young. Diddy and Jay-Z like younger girls. What? I'm going to come get you and take you to an after party. You just wait here. I've got some other things I have to do. Limo driver drives off. All right. She's sitting there waiting. He comes back. He takes her to this house. She goes to the house. Before she walks in, security or whoever makes her sign the NDA. She signs the NDA, never gets a copy, walks into the parties, walking around the parties. She sees a lot of celebrities that looked familiar. Okay. Then a waitress comes up to her, gives her a drink. She drinks the drink, starts to feel weird, has to sit down. She sits down. After she sits down for a minute of feeling weird, she starts to walk around and wander around the house. Then she finds a room. She opens the room. There was nothing in the room except for a bed. She lays down on the bed. Then she's awoken and she sees Jay-Z, Diddy, and Celebrity B, who is a female, but she recognized. She's still a little bit out of it, but she remembers Diddy walking into the room and saying, "Are you ready to party?" What? So Diddy goes over, he stands there with Celebrity B, who will not be named, but it's a female. Jay-Z takes his turn with her first. Then Diddy takes his turn with her first. Diddy tries to stand her up and move her around the room. At that point, she realized, oh, this is terrible. This is wrong. So she grabs up all of her clothes. She's unclothed, walks through the entire house as she's holding her clothes up to her like a towel, which is verbatim what it said in the complaint. Walks through the entire house, walks out the front door, and then she thinks to herself, okay, I'm going to try and remember how the limo driver brought me here. So she starts to walk down the street with no clothes on and just her clothes covering her like a towel. She eventually makes her way to a gas station where she calls her father and tells her father, hey, Dad, I lied about where I was. I'm at a gas station and I'm so ashamed. This is terrible. Can you come pick me up? Yeah, that's the story. I'm not buying it. Y'all have to tell me what you think. If it's true, it's the wildest story, one of the wildest stories I've ever heard in my life, and how no one else got involved. I don't know. All this while being drugged. Yeah, okay.
Stop the cap.
Says what's in your closet. And no one saw her naked outside and called the cops. What? Says nothing for how many years? Over 20 years. Family, this is just a sidebar case. They're setting up the Big Apple. Be patient. It's about forcing people to turn on one another. Can't you guys see that? Yeah, Antoine Bishop, we can see it. And nobody thinks that Jay-Z is absolutely innocent. But what I have to keep reminding y'all is take it case by case. Because I use the example of Cassie and Diddy in the hotel. We saw the video of Diddy dragging Cassie down the hallway, right? Kicked her, pushed her down. But what y'all are saying when you make these statements is if I came out and I said, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. I remember seeing Cassie leaving the hotel. And you know what happened after that? I saw Diddy was upset. And what happened was Diddy, he got in his car and he was driving out of the driveway of the hotel. And as he was driving, he was so mad, he hit me on my bicycle. He hit me on my bicycle. I suffered so many injuries, and then he drove off. I didn't know who it was, but now I remember. I know it was Diddy. And Diddy did that to me, and I'm going to file a lawsuit against him because of that. What y'all are saying is because of everything that Diddy did in the hotel, that automatically means that, yeah, he was the one that hit me on my bicycle. That's not, we can't look at these cases like that because, as you saw in the YSL trial, as you've seen in a ton of other cases, anybody not only can file a lawsuit, but it's really easy to indict people on certain things too. So you have to take it on a case by case basis. If you want to factor in the fact that, yeah, Diddy's probably done some other things, that's fine. But you got to look at the case that's presented, see what the evidence is, and move forward. And at the end of the day, we believe on this channel that you're innocent until proven guilty. Oh man. Not all victims speak up right away. That is true. The woman B is supposed to be J-Lo. It could be. It could have been anybody. But the alleged victim said that she recognized her. I don't know. I sadly got the same drug. Wasn't right for 3 days and no memory. It was impossible to move for hours. Yeesh. Good grief. Latoya Dickerson says, Diddy did do that to Cassie, but she stayed with him years after that. And these people are trying to tie Diddy to everything, no matter what it is. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, as we can see from video, Diddy is guilty of a lot, but that doesn't mean he's guilty of everything. Interesting. Jayz was good friends with R. Kelly and he got cut up. Jayz left. Seems like here Diddy and Jayz left again, and no comments on why. Jayz's been radio silent about Diddy, but now the allegations are against him. He said, no. One crazy thing, it's extremely expensive to own a car and drive in New York. The average New Yorker in 2000 paid an average of $6,000 in gas alone, not including parking. Oh my gosh. How old was her friend? Yeah, that could be a lie too. Maybe she misremembered. Maybe she took a cab. Who knows? Yeah, who knows about that? Lavisa says all this P. Diddy ish is just nasty, and all that played a part should be held accountable. I absolutely agree. All right, we're going to get into our next topic here, and then we've got a couple more things I want to cover, and I'm going to let y'all call into the show and give your thoughts on everything we've covered today and throughout the past couple weeks. Latoya Dickerson says, so why not call out the female? I guess they trying to get money first. We talked about that yesterday. And if she don't pay, they will put her name out there. It's all bullshit. Typical signs of being drugged by GHB. Yeah, you think a 13-year-old who, anyway, something's not adding up. So let's get into it. So first off, and let me pause this here because it's going to start playing. So we have some other folks who are out here speaking about what's going on with this whole Jayz lawsuit situation. DJ Academics recently got a video from a lawyer, attorney Robert Sparks, and he talks about basically Jayz's mindset behind how he's going at Tony Busby and facing off against these allegations, and if he feels like he's making the right moves or not. Y'all let me know what you think about this. Check it out.
Yeah, I don't know what Sean Carter's doing here. It makes no sense to me. Sean Carter, i.e. Jayz, gets named now as the main defendant in a rape case out of New York by trial attorney Tony Busby. We're seeing Sean Carter come out now and defend himself online, putting out statements. The thing that pops up is not immediately innocence and guilt. It's how did it get this far? Carter starts attacking Tony Busby, saying, hey, he sent me a demand letter and he's trying to extort me. Well, newsflash, and Jayz's people know this, that every lawsuit starts with a demand letter. Everybody gets put on notice that they have a claim and gives them an opportunity to resolve. Now, if you believe in your innocence, that's fine. But here, what does innocence have to do with this? He has too much exposure going forward. These are heinous allegations. He even says it himself. Now you're getting tied to Sean Combs, who's, indicted and standing trial for racketeering and extortion cases, just horrific stuff, RICO violations. And now Carter's brand is being brought into this, is being alleged that he raped a 13-year-old. I hear you. I understand the defenses if you're Sean Carter. Hey, 24 years ago, you have an anonymous source, an anonymous victim. It looks like it's just a shakedown by an ambulance attorney. Well, look at it on the other side. Do you really think Tony Busby, who's a powerhouse trial attorney out of Houston, Texas, who's taken down monster verdicts and literally just got appointed by the Attorney General to take on investment firms on behalf of Texas, moves forward on a lawsuit if it's a bluff? It just doesn't make sense.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Because if they were at the party, they were drinking, they were on drugs, and they may not remember what happened, is probably, as an attorney, what you might be banking on. You have someone who tells the story, and there may be some circumstances around it that seems like this could be credible. Of course you pursue it. I don't care who you are. And again, they didn't know what Jay-Z was going to do. Jay-Z could have went to that mediation and said, man, you know what? Mufasa's about to come out. Blue Ivy's up here about to get her shine on. I don't want to deal with this. How much do y'all want? Write a check, keep me in there as celebrity A, and we'll be done with this. And they would have moved on. Tony would have got his check and he would have been able to keep fighting the fight against Diddy. And the weird thing about these civil cases is that's really what it comes down to. Because as Jay-Z said, if this heinous crime happened to you, why not go the criminal route? If this happened to you, wouldn't you want the person who did this to you to pay? Not just with a check, but pay and go to prison. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and get the money first and then maybe file criminal charges, or you're going to get the money and then it just goes away. This is why people have a tough time with these civil cases. It's because if it's about justice, your justice, it has a number on it, apparently, because you're saying, yeah, we want to check. So all that's going to come out of this is somebody's going to write a check. So I don't know if I agree with the attorney Robert Sparks on that one.
Sense to me. You've got to believe that Busby would say, hey, look, I'm not going to allow this case to come down to a he said, she said. Busby knows that the anonymous victim is going to have to be disclosed. They know this anonymous victim is going to have to take depositions. So there has to be more evidence. A bluff would be, hey, I sent you a demand letter saying that we believe you caused these injuries to my client. We're asking for this much money. You say no, and nothing happens. Busby didn't do that. He called his bluff and he took it public. And in fact, he went as far as to say, you know what, we're amending the complaint where we had you as celebrity A that was watching the rape, but now we have enough evidence and believe you were the one who actually committed the rape. Now, John Carter's team will attack that and they're going to say, you didn't even know what you were doing. But my point is, this can't be a bluff. And my point is, I don't understand what Jay-Z is doing coming out in the public. He's putting out these statements that Busby's going to use against him. Literally, Carter is saying he represents the heinous nature, he understands it, and that it rises to the level that it's so bad because it's rape that it should be a criminal prosecution. I could think of nothing better as a trial attorney to use those words against a defendant in a deposition. Remember, you're in the civil context. Busby's going to be able to depose everybody. He's going to be able to get to Combs. He's going to be able to get to Carter. He's going to be able to get to witnesses. They're talking about limousine drivers. Now, yes, there may be a victim issue, but at the end of the day, everybody says, hey, this was 24 years ago. Yeah, let me know how that turned out for a Bill Cosby. At the end of the day, I don't understand why Carter's people are letting him get out there and plead this innocence. I get it from a position that you want to get out in front of the jury. You want to claim your innocence. I just think that they're messing up with the wrong tactic by trying to attack the trial lawyer, because this is not a shakedown of Vontae's situation. This is a real heavyweight lawyer that knows what he's doing. And Sean Carter better be real careful.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Robert Sparks out there, but I 1000% disagree. I completely disagree with him because he's looking at it from the side of Tony Busby. He's already not assuming the innocence of Jay-Z. So he's assuming that this lawyer wouldn't move forward without having some evidence. And maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. Maybe Jay-Z will get tired and eventually will write him a check. either way, if you say you're going to pursue this criminally, there has to be something there, right? So if there's something there, why didn't you pursue this in the first place? And if Jay-Z's so adamant against this and saying this did not happen, y'all need to file criminal charges if this is real, it's seeming like either Jay-Z's just trying to play chicken and see if they're going to drop this, which would be insane because Tony Busby, being the lawyer that he is, he needs to follow this through, and he has to follow this through. Or maybe blame the victim, the alleged victim, if the charges are false. Now, I don't know how they're going to play this, but I don't agree with Robert Sparks at all. It seems like Jay-Z believes in his innocence, and he is really innocent. And Tony Busby, at the end of the day, has the burden of proof. He has to prove that Jay-Z did this. We'll see what happens there. Also, speaking of folks that are speaking out and supporting Jay-Z, as y'all know, Jay-Z has been involved heavily with the NFL and has been working with the NFL, especially when it comes to the Super Bowl halftime show. Recently, with everything that happened with Kendrick Lamar, has Kendrick Lamar performing at the halftime this upcoming Super Bowl. But Roger Goodell actually spoke on Jay-Z's recent lawsuit and if that changes his relationship with Jay-Z and the NFL. Let's see what he said. So Roger Goodell, of the NFL, the commissioner of the NFL, relationship with Jay-Z is not changing amid the lawsuit. What does he say? The NFL is standing firm with Jay-Z's in Jay-Z's corner after he was accused of assaulting a 13-year-old girl in a new lawsuit, with Commissioner Roger Goodell telling reporters the rap mogul's status with the league remains unchanged. What? Yet another person standing behind Jay-Z is crazy. The commissioner relayed the non-update during a press conference from the upcoming slate of Christmas Day games on Netflix. And in his response, it's clear the Shield believes Hov's adamant denial of allegations. Let's see if I can play this video. I had it queued up, but I think it's gonna play ads for us. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let's keep reading while this ad plays. We are aware of the allegations and Jay-Z's really strong response to that, Goodell said minutes ago. From our standpoint, our relationship's not changing with Roc Nation, including our preparations for the next Super Bowl. Let's keep going. Jay-Z has a strong relationship with the league. Not only does his Roc Nation help organize the Super Bowl halftime show every year, it also works with the NFL on social justice initiatives. Goodell went on to say, Roc Nation has been a great partner for the NFL, and the collab continues to grow day by day. After the shocking allegations went public, many questioned whether Goodell's organization would distance itself from the music legend amid the civil litigation. But based on Wednesday's comments, it was never in jeopardy, and the league is confident in this denial. A lot of people are saying they're not surprised that he's speaking this way, especially with the reputation of the NFL, but let's hear it from Goodell's mouth himself.
I saw you, I asked you a little bit about the Roc Nation partnership and it being extended. I wonder, can you speak to A, how that partnership has evolved in the ways that it's continued to grow and impact both you and the league? And then B, if you had any comment on the ongoing legal situation with Jay-Z and his accuser.
I don't. I'll take them in reverse order, but we're aware of the civil allegations, and Jay-Z's really strong response to that. And we know that obviously the litigation's happening now. So, but from our standpoint, our relationship's not changing with them, including our preparations for the next Super Bowl.
All right, so shout out to TMZ for that. Again, y'all, I'm shocked that so many are taking this strong stance with Jay-Z. But I think it has a lot to do with the way he responded. It has a lot to do with Jay-Z saying, listen, this didn't happen. All you're doing is chasing ambulances. And I'm happy to fight this if you want to take this to criminal court. And when it comes to this civil suit, not only do I want this woman to be named, but if she's not going to be named, I'm going to ask the judge that this thing get dropped and dismissed. I really want to know who the woman is that's filing this lawsuit, because I think once we find that out, and again, I feel like very shortly we will find that out, it's going to change the whole perspective of this lawsuit. Either way, let me know what y'all think in the comments in the live chat. Interesting times we're in, man. Minnie Perkins says, when them grown women was in that room and saw that was a child, should have done something then, but did nothing. They watched them do that too. They are guilty also. Wouldn't that put her life in danger? What? I don't know how. I don't know how that would put her life in danger. And Kelly Roberts says, just because the NFL stands behind Jay-Z, it means nothing. How many times has the NFL been on the wrong side of history when it comes to abuse of women? That is very true, Kelly. And that's why I said what I said earlier. The NFL might not be the best measuring stick when it comes to Jay-Z's guilt or the lack thereof. Kelly also says, in a criminal case, they cannot use the NDA that ClassE signed for the 30 million. Miss Pineapple is in here, says they are a statute of limitation in most states when it comes to SA. The girl probably doesn't want her name out because she is scared of retaliation or harm coming to her. It's going to come out. It's going to get leaked or it's going to be released. I promise you, we're going to find out who this woman is, and it won't take much to find her. ClassE didn't breach contract. She is a witness now, so that NDA means nothing. The feds told us that when they arrested Diddy. ClassE is going to be the key witness in this Diddy case, so we're going to be hearing a lot from her soon. If y'all been watching the content for a while, you already know how I feel about ClassE, so I'm not going to go into that. Monteresa says, we're going to have to ask Jaguar Wright who that girl is, because she been saying Jay-Z is worse than the diddler. I cannot stand Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright to me is, when it comes to Diddy, is just as bad as Jay-Z, is just as bad as anybody else who was in this party, because Jaguar Wright said, yeah, I was there and I saw things. And I continued to be there and I saw other things. Like, man, get out of here, Jaguar Wright. We're gonna talk about an ambulance chaser. She's just out here. I don't know if she's trying to. I don't know what she's doing. I don't take anything Jaguar Wright says seriously. Was it Britney Spears? Oh my God. Britney Spears 20 years ago, I don't think she would have been 13. But why would she be standing outside trying to get into the music awards? No, I don't think so. What else are y'all saying? Leslie Abrahams says 100%. They're looking at all that money he's spending or has invested. Allie Carter, Tupac's daughter, named Jay-Z, Diddy, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, and Snoop in a video. Yeah, it's getting ugly out here. They mentioned the celebrity females that was in the room. It'll come out. The one Mr. Ham says, ClassE, exactly. Why didn't Jaguar Wright say anything in the beginning? And she's going to say, oh, well, I said something. And, I just stayed there and I was trying to help these girls, but I was also working and benefiting at the same time, so hey, it's not a big deal. And if Jaguar Wright don't get out of here, I can't. Nope. No. How can the person say these BS allegations about Jay-Z, but he can't defend himself without knowing the person blaming him and character assassination? I agree. There's no need to hide. I think when it's all said and done, there will be a lot of entertainment people who will no longer be if they are found guilty. Well, here's the thing, Les. Tony Busby said himself, a lot of them are just signing checks and walking away. So we'll never know in some cases, unless it gets leaked somehow. We'll never know which celebrities were involved where for the most part, I think most of the celebrities involved, they don't want this to go public. They don't have the resources to deal with it. And it's just only going to make things worse for them if it comes out that they were involved. So if I had to guess, most of them, if not all of them, are just going to sign a piece of paper, write a check, and take the hit. Because you don't want this coming out in the public. And if they try and fight it, you better have those Jay-Z funds. That's all I'm going to say. And Jay-Z, especially the fact that he's not being arrested for something. The NFL's not breaking ties with them. This is going to be war. So y'all get ready for it. 80s B says 13-year-old drugged and thrown against the wall is not going to be able to run to a store. The store is too elaborate to be true. Yeah, I think it says she walked like 20 minutes. Let me see if I could find this thing. Monteresa said Jaguar are gonna come for you.
These niggas lacking.
Please. I'm not scared of Jaguar Wright or anybody. Only person I fear is God. Jaguar Wright. What is she gonna do? Yeah, I stay inside, so there's nothing they can say about me. This new law that passed for SA abuse, only 13 states took advantage of this only because the states who don't want the headaches. Mary J and Beyonce is what they said was in the room. Could have been J-Lo. Wise girl said Blasty ain't scared. Yo, you got to find me first. Tanya kind of admitted to blackmailing, which is illegal. Gosh, Jay-Z will end up being charged, watched and see.
Stop the cap.
On this one, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Jay-Z, the way Jay-Z is standing on business on this one, as quiet as he was about everything that was going on with Diddy, and when it came to this situation, him speaking out like this, I don't see there being any merit to it. Again, I could be wrong, but hey. Leslie Abraham says, that was my point. 13 years old is way too young to handle the drugs and assault. Her dad had to know that she wasn't right. Well, she could have just been embarrassed, and maybe we don't know their relationship. We don't know what the dad was doing at the time. We don't know where the mom was. There's so much that we don't know. Shadow Fox says she's going to call you a disillusioned king. Hey, at least I'm still a king, though. That's what I'm talking about. Disillusioned is fine as long as I'm a king. I almost want to go back and read this. Let me see if I could find this. I know, and I know Megan Kunis shared it, so I'm gonna see if I can find it again. And then we'll actually get into, we're gonna talk about, speaking of Tony Busby, we're gonna talk about Tony Busby in a minute, because he's got some allegations coming out against him too. Where did Megan put this? And shout out to Megan Kunis. If y'all don't follow her on X, she's absolutely killing it. I want to find the Carter's declaration from Carter's lawyers. I want to find the actual amended lawsuit here. I know she's got it here somewhere. Let me see. Jay-Z, Megan Kunis. Where's the amended lawsuit, Megan? I need it. That's not it. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna find it because I want to see this story again. Yeah, here we go. Because I want to go back and see what she said happened after they came into the room. Shout out to Megan for this. Let me see. So we were at, I think, 30 something. The parties, no. Factual allegations. Here we go. Limousine driver she spoke with claimed to work for the defendant's Combs. The driver told her that Combs liked younger girls and said she fit what Diddy was looking for. Jesus. She pulled up to a U-shaped driveway. Once outside, two men asked the plaintiff to sign a document. Inside the building, this is what they're saying was used to put the drug GHP into the drinks, looking for a place to rest. Combs aggressively approached the plaintiff with crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "Are you ready to party?" Plaintiff was held down by Carter. After Carter finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward. Okay, here we go. So here's what happened. She fought back, standing up quickly, punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt. When Combs backed away in surprise, plaintiff grabbed her clothes and shoes and ran out of the bedroom. Holding her dress in front of her like a towel, she ran through the residence until she found the front door and was able to leave the party. Although there were other guests still at the party, no one appeared to take notice of the plaintiff's distress or attempted to help her.
Stop the cap.
Once outside, plaintiff put her clothes back on and left the scene in the dark. Plaintiff attempted to retrace the route taken by the limo driver. She kept running until she reached a gas station she noticed on the way to the party. A female clerk noticed her, distressed, and allowed her to use the phone. Plaintiff called her father, admitted she had lied about her whereabouts, and asked him to pick her up. Plaintiff's father arrived to pick her up shortly before dawn. And there you have the story. Shout out to Siobhan in here. She says I'm the king of vlogs. Oh man, that's crazy. Thank you for the 5 mono. I appreciate it. Jaguar does have a mouth. A little too late. Where was her activism in 2000? That's what I'm saying. You don't. Hey, don't have smoke for me, Jaguar. You need to get your stuff together. I'm good over here. I wasn't around Diddy or Jay-Z, so don't worry about me. Wise Girl says subscribe if you haven't so we can get ClassE to 100K. Thank y'all, man. The numbers are cool and we're going to get there eventually. But thank you to everybody who subscribes to the channel. Mama D says ClassE Beats, take note to watch Dennis Byron's video talk tomorrow. Yeah, I know Dennis, he's going to be interviewing another juror tomorrow, I believe. But are you talking about something else? Michi says, ClassE, I sent a super chat, went through, but it doesn't show. Oh, no, Michi, let me see if I can find it. Thank you for the support. Viewer activity. Oh, man, it doesn't show. Michi, I appreciate you, though. Does anyone find it odd that LeBron stepped away from the Lakers at this time with the Jay-Z allegations being public? He's linked to both Jay-Z and Diddy. Yeah, y'all saw that. I played that video of LeBron saying, hey, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Can't stand that guy. What else is he going to say? Because it's his name being dragged in the street. Everyone wants to make it seem like Jay-Z is a good guy. Look at his history. He sold drugs in his own community. Kelly, I don't think anybody says Jay-Z is a good guy. Who's saying that Jay-Z is a good guy? Even Stephen A. Smith did not say Jay-Z's a good guy. What Stephen A. Smith said, and this is what I keep saying, Kelly, and I think everybody misses. They want to take their whole life and everything they did, and because of that, believe that this one situation is true. Stephen A. Smith said, I've known him for 20 years, and this thing that they're accusing him of, I don't believe it. Stephen A. Smith didn't say, oh, Jay-Z's never done anything wrong. I can imagine that Jay-Z would force himself onto someone. Or I can imagine that Jay-Z would sell drugs. Or I can imagine that Jay-Z would make music that would encourage people to do certain things. No, what he said is this thing that we're talking about right here he doesn't think Jay-Z did. And I'm not seeing it either. That's all we're saying. Nobody's saying he's a good guy, but I'm just not seeing it. GHB, scared straight. Nasty work, man. They said that gas station is miles away from his mansion. I can't imagine a gas station being around the corner from a mansion, but whatever. Young Dredd says, there is no way nobody knows nothing about this. Oh, there's people that know. Jay-Z hands are not clean at all. Nobody's saying that, Kelly. Jeez, why do y'all do this? Why do y'all do this? And see, when it comes to Jay-Z, I don't want to go black in the black community. We can't do that. Nobody's saying his hands aren't clean. I haven't seen anybody out here say, oh, Jay-Z is the greatest guy in the world. He's never done anything wrong. We're focusing on this case. Jeez. And you're good, Kel. I'm not mad at you or anything, but I don't know why people keep taking this narrative that because we don't think Jay-Z is guilty of this and something's not adding up, that means we think he's a great guy. No, we just don't. We think he's innocent until proven guilty in this case, and it doesn't make sense. It's not that complicated. ClassE, what if her accounts of the residence, gas station, and clerk are true? William Green, what if her accounts of the residence, gas station, and clerk are false? I mean, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? I don't know. If they're true, then they're true, and she's a victim. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. Mama D says, Dennis points out holes and like he was there, and the allegations are a mess from what it sounds like. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I'm open to the fact that I could be wrong. This story, specifically Kelly, not Jay-Z, this one, something's not adding up to me. And I appreciate the differing opinions too, because I think we have a better conversation that way. This particular case against Jay-Z is a little weird, not saying Jay-Z is the saint. See, we shouldn't even, PD Broker, you shouldn't even have to put that modifier in there. I'm not saying Jay-Z's, no, look, just look at this for what it is. None of them are good. Jay-Z is all about himself and his money. I mean, y'all want to, we were talking about Jaguar Wright earlier. Do you think Jaguar Wright's a saint? What? No, nobody in this industry is a saint. I don't think so. And I think that a lot of them have seen some things. What's in your closet said the math ain't mathing. Jaguar Wright is a walking contradiction. She craves attention. I agree. If you were there for some of these acts, what makes you better than the diddler or anyone else? Please hush, Jaguar. Go climb a tree. Yeah, no, get out of here. And she admits to some of the things that she's done, but then wants to act like these guys are just menaces. Get out of here. Like it was, I'm not gonna get into Jaguar Wright. Diddy is doing this to Jay-Z. Diddy is doing this to Jay-Z. This is a smear campaign because Jay-Z has spoken up for him publicly. Has not spoken up for him publicly. Antoine Bishop says, you guys missing the whole point. Diddy is doing a smear campaign against Jay-Z because he didn't stand. Oh, yes, because he didn't stand by his side knowing the evidence he has against him. Maybe. I don't see it. What does that benefit him, though? I don't know. I mean, that's a theory. Jaguar says she's in one of them videos. Oh, I believe it. It was probably Jaguar Wright. Why aren't y'all out here saying Jaguar Wright is Celebrity B? Y'all want to say it's Beyonce and J-Lo. Maybe it was Jaguar Wright. Ooh. Why wait so long to come forward when the diddler has been in jail for months? Maybe the diddler is setting Jay-Z up, just saying. Yeah, who knows? Antoine Bishop says, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, no. Okay, if you say so. She said that in one of them interviews, like Cam Capone's or something, one of them. Yeah, this clown, man. I think Jaguar aged out and got drowned. Jeez. Yeah, maybe. And Kelly Roberts says, look, I'm not saying he did it because I wasn't in the room or at Diddy's party. He could be innocent. But what I do know is that he had to at least know about the rumors concerning his friend. Oh, yeah. We talked about that earlier when we were listening to Stephen A. Smith talk about it. You can't talk about this man's character as an argument. And I'm saying, I agree, Kelly. Let's not talk about his character. Let's just focus on the facts of this lawsuit. Because if you want to talk about that, he was around the guy who's been doing some heinous stuff for over 20 decades. So his character probably shouldn't bring that up right now. Let's just look at the evidence. I think Jay-Z's not coming out about Diddy and then coming out about this girl says a lot. Joyce Walker, I agree. Nobody has spoken out has stood up for Diddy. Other than one of, what's the guy's name? One of the producers that worked at Bad Boys. Man, what is his name? He was in the TMZ documentary, which is dope, by the way. If y'all haven't watched it, go watch that documentary. It does say a lot. I agree. If I go down, you coming with me too. I'm not going down by myself, Aunt Teresa. I ain't mad at that. This new law implemented by Congress for SA was put into place because of this Boy Scouts case lawsuit. This is why people are starting to abuse. You're talking about the ASA, Adult Survivors Act. Yeah, that expired November of last year, though, so it's gone. Jay-Z shouldn't pay otherwise. He will be in the same situation, opening the door for more lawsuits, just like the Diddler. Yep. Stevie J, thank you. Stevie J is the only one I've seen stand up for Diddy. Yep. And that's it. Going to be a high profile case where money gets thrown around like rain. So crazy. Maybe see if they outspend Fulton County. Oh my God. Dennis Byron did a video a day ago stating Diddy/Jay-Z have an alibi for the MTV Awards after party. Oop. He said he has receipts. Oh, shout out to Dennis Byron. That's awesome. I'm not going to review it just because if it's something that crazy, y'all need to go watch it on Dennis's channel. Yeah, he did a whole live stream about it. Maybe I can find a clip of it, but y'all go check this out. I'll drop the link in the chat for y'all. The title of Dennis's video is Diddy and Jay-Z have an alibi for the MTV Music Awards after party. Oh, I'm definitely watching this today. I didn't see that. I completely missed it. If y'all want to go watch it, go support Dennis Byron, an amazing, excellent investigative reporter. And I saw the picture he posted of Diddy and Jay-Z that he took, which is crazy. Oh, I'm gonna check this out. That's crazy. Yes, that's the one. Did you see Beyonce and Jay-Z had their daughter looking older? So what image are they sending? I saw the pic. I didn't see a problem with it, to be honest. I thought, I don't even want to comment on that. I just feel weird. But no, I didn't. I saw the picture that people were talking about. They're just trying to find anything at this point. Like, let's just see this case through. He's guilty until found, or he's innocent until found guilty. And let's just move forward. I don't want to. Yeah, it's weird. I think the people commenting on that is. I'm not getting there. I'm not going there. Yeah, supposedly both of them have alibis. Dennis cracks me up, man. His facial expressions be. Shout out to Dennis. Did you see where they arrested 3 rich real estate agents for trafficking women from New York to Miami? Oh, man. What? I did not see that. Let's go ahead and check out. Yeah. Let's go ahead and check this out. This was very interesting. Cat Not Williams sent this to me yesterday. And this is actually, man, Jay-Z is fighting back, and he's fighting back hard. He is not letting Tony Busby go down without a fight because It's alleged that Tony Busby actually got one of his clients to name another celebrity or to name a celebrity in a claim that had nothing to do with them. We're going to talk about the celebrity here in a second, and this affidavit is actually going to show what went down. So shout out to Cat Not Williams for sending me this. Super, super appreciated. Y'all check this out. So this is Jane Doe versus Sean Combs and all these other people. Declaration of Mari Henderson. All right, check this out. I, Mari Henderson, swear under penalty of perjury pursuant to 28 USC 1746 as follows. I am an associate with the law firm of Quinn Emanuel, can't say that name, and Sullivan, LLP, attorney for the defendant Sean Carter, and I submit this declaration in support of Mr. Carter's motion to deny the plaintiff's motion to proceed anonymously. On December 9th, 2024, I spoke by telephone with a female adult resident of the state of Texas whose name is known to me. Another adult whose name is known to me was a witness to the conversation. The information contained in this declaration is an accurate summary of the information provided to me by this woman on December 9th of 2024, namely that in early October of 2024, this woman saw coverage of attorney Anthony Busby's press conference regarding allegations of trafficking and abuse by Sean Combs and submitted a brief outline of trafficking exploitation events via a Busby law firm website online submission form. The woman spoke with 3 members of Busby's law firm and provided details regarding her experience as a victim of trafficking by celebrities entirely unrelated to Mr. Combs or Mr. Carter. And she was told they would take on her representation. After detailing her experiences to an attorney at Mr. Busby's law firm, he pressed for a connection to Mr. Combs. Oh no. Asking, at what point did you meet Diddy? Even though she made it clear that her case was unrelated to Mr. Combs. Mr. Busby's firm pressed for this woman to pursue a civil case as an anonymous Doe plaintiff, even though she never raised proceeding anonymously as a possibility and questioned doing so after it was heavily suggested to remain doing so, even though she was not interested in remaining anonymous at the time. This is not a great look. When the woman brought up wanting to go to law enforcement with her allegations, member of Busby's firm informed her that going to law enforcement was not encouraged. After not hearing from Mr. Busby's firm for weeks, during which this woman tried to contact the firm multiple times, she spoke again with the member of the firm who pressed her to confirm false details regarding her experiences as a victim, including that she was drugged, held down, pushed, and physically assaulted. She felt directed and coached by Mr. Busby's firm to say that some held her down and put drugs in her mouth when that was not her experience. She felt forced to lie. Oh, man. When the woman made clear she was unwilling to adapt to the narrative Mr. Busby's firm laid out and wanted only to speak her truth, she was dropped as a client and told that Mr. Busby's firm was unwilling to represent her any longer. She felt as though once she had expressed that she was not a coachable victim, she was dismissed. This woman shared this information because she felt the conduct of Mr. Busby's firm, specifically to encourage lies, discredits those who are legitimate victims. This woman expressed that she fears retaliation from Mr. Busby's firm if she shares her true identity or signs her name to a declaration in this case at this time. I declare under the penalty of perjury that the foregoing statements are true and correct, executed in Los Angeles, California on this day, the 10th of December, 2024 by Mari Henderson. So Mr. Busby addressed this and he saw that Jay-Z and Jay-Z's law firm, that are the law firm that's representing Jay-Z, came out with these accusations and spoke to this woman. Now, are these accusations true? Who knows? We have no idea if these things are true, but it's Jay-Z taking a shot back at Tony Busby saying, hey, if you want to play this game, we can go down this route. And Mary Henderson is filing these, what does she say? Under penalty of perjury. So what do y'all think about this? Is this true? Do you think the Busby law firm is capable of this and it actually happened? I don't know, man. All these stories that are coming out are absolutely insane. And for them to slip up like this, maybe somebody's going to get fired. If we see somebody fired, then we might have an idea that this could be something that happened. I don't know. Let me see what y'all are saying in the comments too. Some of this sounds familiar. Live news going on with Diddy now. They're trying to see what's happening, says Mama D. As a mother of children, children should look and dress as such. All that long weave to the butt at 4 to 13. I'm not so with it. Big earrings either. Sitting around adults, definitely not. Yeah. What are y'all saying in here? Amy dropped the shock face in there. What happened, Amy? Even Will Smith left Diddy's side, but you gave Diddy both of his kids. A lot of celebrities will go down. William Green says, I watched Dennis Allen's vlog and nothing on there we haven't talked about on here. Oh, okay. Dennis Allen? Oh, you're talking about Dennis Byron. Okay. Stop commenting on how people raise their children. Raise yours and pray they turn out all right. Yeah, I feel that. I'm not. Yeah. And shout out to Mr. Brown in here. Appreciate you, man. Dropped a 5-bomb. He said, help me understand how R. Kelly gets locked up after the surviving R. Kelly, but everybody else gets a pass. What? Well, it be like that. Sometimes they just want the big fish, right? Ask Fannie Willis. Well, it doesn't matter who was in the room, A, B, C, or D. Whoever was at that party and underage kids was there. Everybody needs to go to jail. You get a cell, you get a cell. Everybody gets a shell. Shout out to Oprah. She might be getting one too. Oh, man. Latoya Dickerson says, I'm not shocked at all. It's sad because there's real victims out there. I agree. Kel Bell, the honorable attorney Kel Bell says, I've definitely had cases where the opposing side coerced favorable testimony out of a witness. Not this bad, though. I've known people for more than 25 years and they have shown they weren't who I thought they were. That's true. That's true. But if you're doing business with them and involved with them on a daily basis and see how they are around people, I don't know. Kelly Roberts says all sides are looking bad in this. I agree, Kelly. And more information's going to come out. So that's why I said I'm here for this. I'm loving this back and forth between the lawyers, all these documents we're going to see, all the information that's going to come out. I hate that if this woman that's now 37, if she really is a victim in this case, I hate that this is what it's taking for her to achieve justice. And if she's not a victim, I mean, do I hate this for Jay-Z? Not really. Honestly, I don't care about Jay-Z. You're around this person, and let's be real, the only reason Jay-Z is being brought up here is not because he's a black man. It's not because he's a billionaire, although those things help. It's because of the company he kept. Period. Point blank, end the story. So you were around Diddy. You saw some things. Most likely were involved in some things. So if it turns out this woman wasn't a victim, I don't feel bad for Jay-Z. I just think it's a shame that people can abuse the system like this. But Jay-Z, I mean, he did this. I don't know. I'm not going to feel sorry for him. I don't care about Jay-Z, to be honest. That is insane. Kel Bell said that though about I put this on the screen. I've definitely had many cases where the opposing side coerced favorable testimony out of a witness. Nothing this bad though. So what could be the repercussions of that, Kel-Bell? I mean, if it's found out, how would that even, how does that work? P Fox says, I doubt Jay-Z was the same person today as he was 20 plus years ago. Know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even Woody said that. He said, man, when you have kids and I had a family and I was outside loading my daughter into the car and I got shot at, I was done. I was out of there. I said, this is not it. I can't do this anymore. Life will change you. We filed a motion with the court after asking for sanctions. So could you put, Kel-Bell, could you put their client on the stand and ask her that? I would imagine so. It's only fair that they all give their names. I agree 1000%. Camille Blackman says this lawyer should be jailed, lose his law license. This egregious behavior makes it hard for real victims to get justice. Man, if it's true, I definitely agree. If they're trying to get a client to blame this on somebody who wasn't involved, absolutely despicable. Yes, we got a sworn testimony from the witness that was coerced. Ow! Shout out to the honorable attorney Kel-Bell out here putting in work. Disgusting. Could you then go forward and get maybe, well, I guess it would be too late to get a wiretap or anything like that, Kel-Bell. Interesting. That's an interesting process. That's wild that happens for real. Kelly Roberts says the only people I feel bad for is Jay-Z's kids and maybe the 13-year-old if she's truly a victim. I'm with you on that, Kelly, for sure. Yeah, I would rather, what I hope the outcome of this is that this lady was lying and maybe she either gets I hope that she's lying, because if not, then this is some other ish. All right, so let me do one more thing real quick. I wanted to cover, I think I'm going to have y'all call in. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines real quick here in just a second. We're going to take a brief intermission real quick, y'all. Literally 30 seconds and I will be right back. And then we'll open up the phone line. So if y'all want to call in, the link to call into the show is in the description and in the pinned comment in the chat. And I will be right back.
I can do what I want when I want to do it. I can do what I need when I need to get through it. When I need someone else, can't be too proud for help, but gotta look after myself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what the day is. But it's exactly what you make it. So please don't go wasting. And I'll do the same, even if it's raining. How could I complain? And my feels got me feeling some type of way. You always free to take a break. Hope you
It is a good day. Today is a good day, man. What a blessing. And shout out to Keely for that one. Absolutely love it. And a lot of y'all are saying you love that song too. All right. So the phone lines are open if y'all want to call in. Amy posted it in the chat, and y'all can also call in. The link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Let me see what y'all are saying while we wait for some calls to come in. Latoya Dickerson says, why is it that people are so quick to believe a little girl? Let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Little girls and women make false claims about men all the time and ruin their lives. This girl didn't go to the police or the ER. Yeah. You have to prove it. You have to prove it. You have the burden of proof. If you're going to bring accusations against somebody, you have to be able to prove it. That's it. The tough thing is when it comes to children, right? That's the tough thing. You know, so as a 13-year-old and as a child, I think that's where things get kind of interesting because I'm always going to protect the child first. And I don't think when it comes to children, that's a tougher conversation. But she's a grown butt woman now. So how does that factor in? I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. What 13-year-old has a friend that drives a car? I thought it was weird too. Latoya Dickerson says, I'm sorry, I don't believe this little girl or that her dad picked her up. No police report, no assault kit. Why? I don't believe it either. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Who was the friend that drove her there? That's what I said. It's so weird. Tony has a 1-800 hotline. I could easily call and make up a lie about Diddy, Jay-Z, or any other celebrities. Especially if you were in the industry. What else are we saying? 80s B says, what did she want at 13? A kiss on the cheek? An autograph? What was her end game? Sing or rap for them? Let this be a lesson to young girls. Don't lie and sneak around. Bad people out there, for real, for real. Yeah, even if this isn't true, it's not worth it. I don't think it was J-Lo. It was Mary J. Blige. Oh my God. I don't believe Jane Doe exists. This is probably a shakedown for the attorney. That would be insane. I just want to know. So let's go with that, Lily Flowers. If Jane Doe doesn't exist and this is a shakedown by the attorney, as the attorney we heard from, what was his name? Mr. Sparks. Mr. Sparks said for a huge attorney like this, Mr. Busby, to make up a fake client just to shake down Jay-Z, it would be wild. They already claimed that their client was willing to do mediation, so I don't think that's the case. But if we take it a step further, and say that she's lying, that's still a bad look too. So either way, it's a bad look. If she's telling the truth, it's a bad look. She signed that NDA, said Ma Teresa. You can't legally sign it at 13 though. P Fox says if they paid to hide, how is it hotel footage? It's not far-fetched to pay a cop to get rid of police report. I agree with that. Busby did the exact same thing to Deshaun Watson. That's how I first learned of him. Oh, I didn't realize he was involved in that case. Crazy. I know country singer George Strait lost his daughter at 13 from a car accident because she snuck out of the house with friends who were old enough to drive. So things can happen. Not saying I believe that girl. That's so sad. Oh my gosh. Oh, Amy's got some breaking news. She said the state is crazy. They're trying to put Drink's murder on Farley. He wasn't even in the position to do that, and the state arrested his lawyer. Oh my gosh. Amy, for real? Oh yeah, you're talking about when they arrested him for the pills. I thought you meant they just arrested him. Oh man. The state, they have to take the L on the Shamel Drink's murder. Which is sad, man. That's so sad for the Drink's family. But they gotta take the L on this, Amy. Because all we have to do is run back the video. What are they gonna say, Ma? They're gonna say Mr. Farley was in the third white car. Come on.
Stop the cap.
And the only thing they have Farley on other than that is gang related activity. He was posting in some videos and posting on Instagram. We went through the indictment. Yeah, Farley's not, he's good. He's gonna get up out of there. I mean, Max basically handed his lawyer the playbook. And the state handed them everything they need. Just bring up the medical examiner again. Say how he couldn't have moved. Even if Miles Farley was in one of those two cars, there's no GSR. And when they pulled off, yeah, they were going 90 miles an hour. But when they pulled off, Shamel Drink's car was still able to move after he allegedly got shot. Michi says, facts, I don't care. However, we have all had fast butt tendencies. For her sake, she better be telling the truth. These internet sleuths will drag her through the mud. That's why her name's not out here. I keep saying, I want to know who this person is, because there's a reason that she's hiding her identity. The state failed those victims' families. They're trying to put Garlington in the car. It doesn't matter. But here's the thing, JB, they can put Donald Trump in one of those two cars. We know for a fact the third car is the only probable car to have shot Shamel Drink's. It doesn't matter who they put in the car. They can put me in that car. You know what? Let me call them. I'm going to call them and tell them, hey, if y'all want to say I was there, I volunteer. I was there. I was in one of those two cars. There is no way anyone in one of those first two cars shot Shamel Drink's. It is literally impossible. AV had Ashley Merchant on, and the double jeopardy means nothing in the indictment. They are charging her client after he already pled for a crime, and now they're recharging him. This is BS. Amy said, you better not. No, I'm not gonna call for real, Amy. Don't worry. Lily says, yeah, Detective Santa, shout out to Detective Hogan. He dropped the ball. He never investigated the fourth car or why the fifth car did an abrupt U-turn. Y'all said don't do it. No, this is one of the easiest cases to beat. State is garbage. I did the math. If that lawyer had 120 clients and he sued for $1 million for each at 35%, he would make $42 million. Well, he didn't take all 120 clients. He had to divide them out because it was just too much work for them. So yeah, he's getting paid already. Trust me. Because Tony Busby said himself that there's a lot of people that have reached out to him, a lot of conversations he had, a lot of celebrities that have come in and signed on the dotted line and walked out. So Mr. Brown says the state didn't prove anything, but they showed they were incompetent at investigating. State dropped the ball. Jasmine said it has to be the guy who was riding with him, and he was also in the convenience store on camera with him. It couldn't. Yeah, I don't know who it was. I don't think the state knows either, to be honest. We'll never know because we don't know who was in that fourth car. All right, y'all being shot today. Nobody wants to call in. So I think I had one more thing I was going to get to. I'll keep the phone lines open for a minute. I agree with Yak and Shannon verdict, but why is not one saying what the witness said about the nut murder? What kind of car was the shooter in? What kind of car did Yak get into at the gas station? Oh, for some reason it's not showing calls. Oh, y'all said you're working. Yeah, that makes sense. What kind of car did Yak get into at the gas station? Oh, it doesn't matter because you got to remember, Miss Hilton said, oh, well, see, what had happened was they pulled around to the back of the gas station. And here's the area where Yak could have got in the car and they switched cars and then they went and killed him. They don't know. They don't know who killed him. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Shout out to, oh, wait, hold on. Mr. Brown's calling in.
Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and
We're going to get into this video in a second. Let me get Mr. Brown up in here. Oh, no, I missed him. I'm going to call him back. Hopefully he gets out.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Brown, good morning. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, ClassE? What's up?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you for calling into the show. What's on your mind, brother? Talk to me.
I got two questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
How can they lock these guys up all this time and then turn around and say they're dropping the charges, but they're not letting them sue them for locking them up for nothing? Look at it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you look at it. When the guy got shot, the car was still moving.
Mm-hmm.
But when the car did the U-turn, didn't nobody think that he heard a gunshot?
Or saw something?
I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The whole case was messed up. Because I said that before, that they had too many defendants. If you had left Thug out, one of them would have cracked. Because a lot of them can't jail.
I agree.
And
with
then,
you.
And then you're looking at Rice Street. It took this lawsuit, it took this case to bring out how nasty and dirty Rice Street is.
Mm.
So
Talk about it.
You're telling me that while everybody's going for Fannie Willis trying to do this, trying to do that with Donald Trump, but they don't say nothing about Rice Street? Come on, it's crooked, bro.
Yeah, and it took the Department of Justice getting involved to bring reform to a county. Can you think about this for a second? They're not even talking about the state of Georgia. They're just talking about Fulton County, just one little old county in the entire United States. They had to get the Department of Justice involved in this. It's absolutely insane, man. It's sad. State's got a lot of work to do, for sure.
Yeah, they do. And then you look at everybody that's, because remember what they say, all the problems start at the top, not at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at all these cases and how long this case went on and all these charges. Now you're going at the RICO case, but then you dropping all the murder charges that you brought on these people and you're locking them up. So what is so important that you keep dropping charges just to get a minimal charge?
Yeah.
And they get more dirty.
Yeah, I want to know your thoughts on that because the sheriff actually mentioned that before. He said one of the reasons we're having so many issues in Fulton County is because of the way Fannie Willis and the DA's department is prosecuting these cases and pushing a lot of these charges. So how much do you put into that fact versus the poor running of these systems?
Well, honestly, everybody should be fired right now.
Yeah.
Because you just took the state's money and did it any kind of way, and you came to court wearing your red and your green, and I call Miss Love I call her grandma. She's just getting loud in the court because when she knows she got you, she raised her voice.
Oh man.
It's you just can't do certain things. And as an alumni that's been locked up,
Right.
we all know that when you get locked up, you don't tell. You just do your time,
Do what you got to
and then you
do.
come back with a extravagant lawsuit.
Yeah. Do you think they will? Do you think they will bring a lawsuit at some point?
Some of them ought to, because the only way that they can get a lawsuit is standing up and going all the way through it. You can't take a plea at the end of it.
Right.
You just can't.
Yeah. Especially.
Once you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially Yak Gotti after getting stabbed right before he got out and was found not guilty on all those charges. I still can't believe that.
Yeah, well, one thing I know, he ought to sue. He ought to sue. He should sue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm shocked that I know being in jail, nobody wants to be there, right? But I don't see how Thug just. I understand he won't be with his kids, whatever, but he's about to win, and he just topped out.
Yeah, that was tough, man. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it that he should have stayed in, but Young Thug.
He should have stayed in.
Yeah, Young Thug even said it himself to Mr. Adams, allegedly, that he should have stayed in there.
Yeah, because now he's under probation, and the slightest thing he do is 20 years.
Yeah.
And they say he can't be around anybody in the game. Everybody's in the game. What are you talking about? I was on parole, and they were telling me I couldn't be around any drug dealers. There was nothing but drug dealers in Newark on every block.
Yeah, you can't walk into the gas station.
Drug dealer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you're doing a great job, man. I'm telling you, you ought to be a lawyer, bro.
Oh man, I don't have the patience for that, Mr. Brown, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the love.
But you enjoy your game, and
thank you.
I give my love to everybody in the chat.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the continued support, brother. You can call in anytime.
No problem.
All right, peace. Yeah, Mr. Brown said it right. That's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. Do y'all think these guys are gonna sue? And what would have been the impact if Young Thug had stayed? Would there be more weight on this whole RICO charge? Because the RICO charge, the jury saw that, they were like, man.
Right, and so what we have ultimately
crazy
is that there is no evidence, none.
The jury wasn't feeling it at all. These RICO charges are BS, get it out of here. Would that have changed if Young Thug would have stayed? I don't know. The Honorable Attorney Kel Bell says, but if he stayed in, what if that rogue juror would have been chosen? Oh, would be a totally different outcome. Oh, man. Thank God that lady did not get a jury form. That would have been terrible. Shout out to my guy, Dr. EJ, just gifted 10 memberships. If you got a membership from Dr. EJ, please make sure you say thank you. Amazing, man. Thank you so much for the support. Also, welcome 80s B, becoming a gold member. Thank you for being a member. It's making me blush over here. Let's see. Jacqueline Boyd says there is the possibility for a pardon for all of them. From who? Because I did find out the president can pardon their felonies. Y'all think he pardons Young Thug's felony? And correct me if I'm wrong on that, Kel Bell, but I think he could pardon Young Thug's felony. I believe so. That would be crazy, man. What if Donald Trump gets in there and just to stick it to Fannie, he pardons Young Thug's felony? Man, Brian Steele, I know you got the connections. Keith Adams, y'all need to talk. Y'all need to hit up Donald Trump. Because come next year, yeah, but a felony is a federal charge. Right? Let me see. That would be awesome. I don't know if it is or not. Fed cases are near impossible to beat. Ask me. Rice Street said no. All right, so Young Thug's out on that. If Rice Street said it is true, we put our trust in Rice Street. All right, let me see. Let me go ahead and let's run this video for Amy, from Amy, and then I'm gonna get y'all up out of here. So if y'all haven't subscribed to Amy's channel yet, and I need to like this video, make sure you go and check it out. The link to Amy's channel is in the description, and I'll also link to this full video in the description as well. So more on the United Healthcare alleged shooter. We're going to talk about it here. This is actually a body language analysis, talks about him getting arrested, when he spoke out, and what he's actually seeing. So I thought this was really interesting, and I want to get y'all's take on this as well. Check it out.
And forensic psychologist, as well as a body language expert. And today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione was recently arrested as the prime suspect for the murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. Now, we don't have a lot of footage, but we're going to look at a couple of clips today to see what we can glean from his behavior and his body language. Let's jump right in. Now, the first thing I want you to pay attention to is the position of his chin and his nose, the way his neck is very exposed. Now, when we're feeling very vulnerable, we put our chin down. We try to protect our neck because it's a very vulnerable location. But when we put our chin up, that shows that we don't feel threatened by others. It's a sign of confidence. Some people will interpret it as arrogance. It really depends on the context of the situation. But as he's doing this right now, he doesn't hang his head down in shame. Let's go back, and then we're going to keep watching. He's also walking with a good amount of intensity. Look at this right here.
Interesting.
He's keeping his chin up, like I said, keeping his neck exposed. Oftentimes when people are feeling shame, they're going to look down, and when they're feeling defensive, they're going to block their neck. So when they're looking down in shame, that's not necessarily defensiveness. That's not wanting people to see their face. He doesn't seem to be ashamed of anything. And he may be experiencing fear right now, but that's not obvious. He's not showing body language associated with fear. Let's watch this sequence all over once again.
Yep, it is Rice Street. It's a body language expert. His name is Dr. G.
You know, one thing you're seeing is that he's looking around very casually. Now, that may not mean much to you, but one of the things they're going to be, I'm sure, exploring here is whether or not he's got some sort of severe mental health issue, whether or not he's disconnected from reality. There's nothing obvious about that right now. If there are those kinds of issues, he seems organized enough to recognize the situation. He seems to appear to know what's going on around him. You're not seeing a blank stare or any unusual sort of looks on his face. He's also taking big strides. Once again, there does seem to be a certain degree of confidence with what's going on right now. And maybe there's a sense of pride. There doesn't seem to be any obvious shame, though. Now we're going to see him going into court for an extradition hearing because they're going to try to...
Now, this is interesting. Do y'all think it has anything to do with his upbringing and I guess you could say his pedigree, the school he went to, the family he comes from, maybe knowing that he's going to be able to put up somewhat of a fight? Or is it more so as to the alleged crimes and everything going behind that? Just that he's proud in that fact. I don't know. I'd love to see what y'all think.
Try to extradite him to New York.
And it's completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
So I talked about the intensity before. We're seeing that much more clearly now. Let's see if we can see a little bit more of his face.
Here's a better angle too.
You can see he's baring his teeth. He's got his brow furrowed down. Those are obvious signs of anger. Once again, he has his chin up. He's standing up straight. There's anger. There's confidence. Now, I talked to the last one about how he doesn't look disorganized. We don't know whether there's anything mental health-wise. This behavior, I'm sure, is going to bring more of that into question. I don't know his mental health background, but I'm sure that will be explored in court. Let's keep watching.
An insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience. Lee, did you do it? That's completely out of touch. And an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
They didn't want him to speak either.
Now, I want you to pay a close attention to his facial expressions here, because I talked about anger before, but this seems more like rage. And if he is, in fact, guilty of what he's been accused of, you're maybe getting a better idea of the level of rage that he may be experiencing.
Lee, did you do it? That's completely out of touch.
See, you can really see the brow and the baring of the teeth there. There truly appears to be curiosity, anger, rage below whatever it is he's saying. I still can't fully understand what he's saying, but it seems to be something about the intelligence of the American people.
And an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Now, that was real rage right there. You heard he stomped. And if you see his face, let me see if I can get a good shot of his face right here. Look at the rage right there. You heard him stomp and then say this. There seems to be a truly burning rage inside of him as he says this, to let out that stomp, to let out that curiosity while he has police leading him. Oftentimes people feel the need to behave in a certain way in situations like this. Oftentimes there's some degree of compliance. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't or anything like that. I'm just saying that typically what we see. Right here, we're seeing somebody that does not care about the context of what's going on. He has something he wants to say, and the rage below it all is just exploding forth.
Yeah.
The intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
We'll go ahead and stop here. Hopefully this is giving you a better idea of some of the behavior and body language we're already seeing from him. Now, something that was said in court was they asked him if he had any drug or mental health issues, and he said no on both accounts. Now, one thing to be very clear on is that for people that have either substance or mental health issues, typically are going to answer no to that question unless they have a very well-documented history that somehow is relevant. But we can't assume that that's necessarily true. This is going to be a very long and complicated process. I'm sure we will find out more as we continue to go on. But just because he said there's no drugs or mental health, I don't think you can take things like that at face value. I'm not suggesting there are those issues, but you just can't eliminate them just based on him saying that. Obviously, we saw today someone who is expressing an intense amount of rage, someone who doesn't seem to have any shame right now, and someone who also appears very confident in this situation. But whether or not there are underlying mental health issues that are related to that, I'm sure we will find out. If you have any other thoughts, please.
All right. Shout out to Dr. G. And thanks to Amy for posting that video too. Y'all make sure you go show her some love. I don't know what to think about this, man. It's so hard to tell. I think this is another situation to where everything's really strange surrounding everything that's going on, especially where he was found at, and the police saying they questioned him at the McDonald's. It seemed like everything was fine. And then when they asked him about him being, him recently being in New York, they said he seemed to get nervous. And then they found all of these things on him. They found ID. They found some type of weapon. And he didn't really resist. He was in a public place. Didn't think he would get caught. Even if you're eating at McDonald's, why would you sit in McDonald's and eat? And then he has this entire manifesto. And he said, it seems like he wanted to get caught. Very strange situation. I'll definitely be interested to see what happens with this. Hopefully we get to find out more about what's going on with the situation in New York, because as we know, they are now charging him with the murder and then possession of a forged weapon and a couple of other different charges. So y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments too. It's very interesting. Shout out to Michi in here, says, real quick, did you see the guy who leaped off the off the bench at the judge earlier this year? He has been sentenced to over 20 years. Yeah, dummy. I did see that. And shout out to Monterisa in here, says, I always have a great and blessed time in here. Everyone have a thankful day and night. Thank you for being here, Monterisa. I appreciate you. Money Pistol ATM says, things like this always seem staged. He took the shot. He was acting a movie. He was acting out a movie scene. It was weird, man. Just the whole thing. I want to find the video of the shooting real quick in case y'all haven't seen it, which I doubt y'all haven't seen it, but let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, and I spelled United Healthcare wrong. And this is saying that he left clues at the scene. All right, do y'all want to go down the X rabbit hole here? This high priority news said United Healthcare shooter left a clue at the scene captured by CCTV. Put something in the trash. Weird. This is so odd. I'm trying to see if I can find the actual video. There's that. And I spelled United wrong. There we go. And it's always weird that he smacked the gun like that. And then this was posted back on December 5th. As we all know, they found him now, but wow. Fulton County Education says Rice Street. Him and Stephen A need to get together so they can yell at each other. Oh, man. All right, y'all. It is Thursday. I can't believe this week's over already. We've got, tomorrow's going to be a big day, but next week we've got a lot going down. The YSL trial is going to be back in session. We've got a couple of hearings. We've got one for Shannon Stillwell, and we're also going to have, I believe, well, I don't want to spread rumors, but we're going to have one from Shannon Stillwell next week, and then we're back on with the YSL trial next week. It'll be interesting to see what goes on there. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for continuing to support everyone who liked the video. Shout out to the show sponsors today. My favorite, Amber Rain, making it rain up in here. And my guy, Dr. EJ, appreciate y'all. Thank you to everybody else who supported as well. Rice Street, what do you want for the intro song? And I swear if you say Yak Gotti, I will end this live stream right now. Because we are not listening to Yak Gotti. Y'all make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that we go live. And we're going to be dropping a couple more videos this afternoon. So make sure y'all tune in for that. And as always, you know what to do. Keep growing. Keep pushing, keep it classy. We gone. Peace. No, see, live stream's over. Bye.